Welcome to WCBL Power Rankings with your host, CB. Woo! Yay! It's good to be back, folks. And joining him all the way from sunny California, it's Nada. Woo! Yay!
I forgot to put on my sports announcer voice, but hello.
It's good to be back. So, getting right into things. Rank 10 of the post draft. I have Matt, and you have whoever the information is. Gels. You want to take it off first?
But sure. Firstly, I don't understand. I don't understand your reason. I get into it. I had the pleasure of mocking with Matt. Found some more like real problems with this draft, such as he's very hazard weak. I for a second thought Suicune got defog, so that would patch it up for him somewhat, but apparently it doesn't. So I don't get. I got that idea from
We can only try.
an okay.
Why I have Matt so low, if you want to really know, is because
I
he
do.
has 3 water types, all weak to grass, SMH. And he also has a problem with his speed between uh, it is Nidoqueen and then Miltank, which is like 76 to 100. And Miltank usually doesn't even run speed most of the time, so it's more like between his Latios and his Nidoqueen, which is like a 35 speed gap right in the middle.
Suppose that's important to know. If I had to really care about it, because I'm really bad at making decisions on short notice, I would have put him at like 3 or so, because all of his water types do separate things, and well, 2 of them have immunities to, or not immunities.
Immunities to electric.
Technically, Lantern does get one or another.
I don't see why you drafted Lantern when you already had Seismitoad. They do the same thing.
No, I agree. I started banking on him to get a Alolan Raichu because it would have fit better, though, weaknesses would stack regardless. Or even Semi-Seer. That's sort of besides the point. Where did you put Gels?
I put him at 6. Mainly probably because I also thought Suicune got defog and I forgot to check that.
Oh boy.
Besides that, his speed tiers are good. He has Clefable, which is probably one of the best clerics to have. He has nice bulk. Yeah, and he basically has setup everywhere if he wants. And he has some great wall breakers.
I don't see the need. I would have said Suicune would have been fine for defog, but having Suicune and Manaphy on the same. The mons that don't set up, if they're not walls like Arcanine or say Meloetta, they can be passive. Meloetta is not like RA form.
I guess.
Yeah, that's all I have to say though. I'm excited to see him use the team.
Moving on to our ranked 9, you have Justin and I have myself. You're a bit silent.
You want to go first?
Yeah, your mic keeps on going like from low to high, just so you know.
That's interesting. I'll adjust for a second. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Why I have myself in 9th, mainly because of poor hazard removal. I only got Crobat as hazard removal to start off with, and there are some weaknesses to rocks on my team. And pretty much, I'm always hard on myself.
That's sort of true. Hold on a second.
I will entertain the audience while you get your mic fixed or whatever.
You don't have to. I'm gonna rest my head on the mic now. It's good now.
Okay.
I like the cores you have. I would say, for the exception of Stack Attacka,
How dare you diss Stack Attacka?
I'm based on any previous performances it's had.
Yeah, I know. I'm the only one allowed to criticize it though. Stack Attacka's my bae.
Of course. Then I'll leave you to that, and I'll see if I can find any other flaws. If we're judging on the basis of you having Vaporeon, I would have said it's a great cleric, but I don't think now that you have Finny that you have any. If Misty Surge doesn't count as some preventative measure.
Kangaskhan gets Wish.
Oh, what? I don't normally think of clerics as just Wish users because Wish is somewhat common.
I guess.
And
Tabu Finny can have.
Kangaskhan's a good Pokemon. Okay. Your speed tiers are pretty good with the exception of like
the higher tiers.
Jump, yeah. From what is it, Delphox to Crobat. Wild, but makes Crobat like able to run whatever, like you can creep for Pokemon that are just gonna creep for Delphox. So it makes it in that respect. Yeah, somewhat pressured to bring Kieran Black for your like for anything that could be considered a powerhouse besides Mega Heracross.
It's my wall breaker.
Yeah, so those are all the criticisms. I like your Z users. I'm interested. Crocodile and Delphox.
Might have made a mistake not making Stack Attacka though.
Maybe. I don't know what items it runs effectively, so it seems like it'd be an easy choice.
Chopple, Shuka, C move.
That Steel Rock is just so fucking my language. It's a bad typing. But I suppose it works with Heracross.
It works with a lot of my mods. It works well with Cresselia. It works well with Gourgeist.
I'll say to that, like, if there was a team it would fit well in, yours does a very good job of supporting it.
Almost like I drafted around it on purpose.
On purpose. Yeah, you don't have any other Trick Room users.
Hello, Gourgeist?
Crest doesn't set it up. No, I mean, like... Depends on what Gourgeist you use, but you're absolutely right.
Cresselia gets it. I could run Trick Room on Cresselia if I wanted.
You could. But then I guess in your experience, Stack Attack is the better choice for that because its move pool is so limited.
Mm-hmm. Enough about me. Let's talk about Justin. You have him at 9. I have him at number 1, apparently.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Let's see. He has Heatran, which is awesome. Typing Fire Steel blows back a lot of things. Salamence, best dragon, especially at tier 2. He has a good cleric in Gardevoir. And he has decent hazard removal with Tentacruel and Mega Scizor.
Okay, I thought his team cutting off from the 115, the 2 115 mons at Salamence gets pretty slow. And then
Salamence is 100.
Yes, and Tentacruel, but like Miltank, it sort of doesn't count because it's not very great offensively.
Hello. Sparks Tentacruel every day.
Acid Spray. Okay. What was I going to get at? The weaknesses that this team have are somewhat common. Fire and ground can handle all of his walls, if I am looking at this correctly. And ice, fire, water, and ice. So I would just say, in terms of like weaknesses to stack, those aren't the best ones, and I didn't really necessarily like rank him this low because I thought it was a bad team, especially because I'm gonna battle him whenever he gets online.
Yeah.
I think all of the teams just happen to be like at least decent because of the fact that there's not very many people. So
Yeah,
I
I had a little struggle with that as well.
yeah, there's more so nitpicks. So to the lower people for me anyway, because I didn't, except for Spec, I will have actual criticism for his team, but
Speaking of spec, we both have him at 8.
Cool. Are we done with Justin? Because I'm not sure I want to talk more about like how I look at his team, as I'm going to battle him soon.
Yeah, we're done with Justin. Number 8, Spectrum. His team is a bit meh. Coming off of post draft, no electric type, which is kind of bad. Electric is usually a good typing to have to get that volt switch off.
He sort of lacks it within the post draft on the specially offensive side. With granted, Kamo can obviously
run special. Cryogonal could be special. Mega Pidgeot.
Okay, Cryogonal's not a wall breaker. You know, like I'm talking about sweeping potential.
Yeah,
Cryogonal is a great like assault vest user, or you know, like Zatu even. Run a good calm mind, and they have good recovery and stuff.
Basically, he only had Mega Pidgeot.
You're right. And
that doubled up on flying.
It's easily prepped for, I would think, because he sort of electric types do a number.
Except to his 2 walls in Mudsdale and
Tangela. Tangela and yep, prime fucking walls. I don't have anything against Tangela. It's just somewhat passive, I guess. On
Spore everything.
Yes.
Switch into a hit, switch out. That's basically what it does.
It's a great regenerator mon in that aspect.
Yep. Really wish he kept Mega Pidgeot though, because he had no answers for Chiron B.
You're absolutely right. I'm not sure Mega Pidgeot is even that great of an answer though.
No, but he has Mega Electric now.
I also think
he still technically has no answers for the Chiron B.
Yeah, you're right. The problem. It has somewhat to do with his speed tiers, which I was going to get into. Like, besides Mimikyu, which I suppose would be his one answer if he played it right. Like, he has no base 100 at all, so even if, you know, Miltank and Tentacruel don't count, he
kind of relies too much on his wall core of Toxapex, Mudsdale, and Tangela.
Yeah, I mean, the regenerator thing he has going on is interesting. It's just Toxapex is extremely passive, even if
Tangela is passive. His walls are passive.
Yeah. What else is
Anything else? Hello?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, moving on. You had yourself at 7. I put you at number 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go first here. Is my mic first of all?
It still sometimes gets very quiet, but usually it's fine.
Okay. Um, well, for starts, I sort of just drafting with Z users in mind, meaning I didn't want to have a bad tier 5 so that it would essentially be like I had one Z user. So what I did was sort of draft based on typing so that I wouldn't have too many duplicates because water is not a bad duplicate typing if the Pokemon are too different, if you ask me.
Yep. Unless you have three, like Matt.
Yeah, well, that's true. Something like if you can avoid shared weaknesses, it's great.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of grass, or not like a very notable grass weakness, but it sort of forces him to not bring all of his water types, even though we already know he's going to be bringing Seismitoad all the time. So
Seismitoad is one of the best water types, let's be honest.
it's a great value pick. Sort of why we have it at tier 3, I think.
You're a bit quiet now.
Okay, I've been adjusting the past 10 minutes. I think my team's a little slow, or I guess a gap between Blacephalon and Megalopony sort of makes creeping easy. Uh,
Um,
I'm not slacking on any hazards. I just think sort of pressuring Blastoise / Klefki
you
to
have
be.
great hazard stacking potential with that Klefki, with that
Yeah.
Restoraid.
Yeah,
You could bring
I think I have them all.
two rockers.
Hmm. You're right.
Um, I like the fact that you have webs. Webs are always nice. They help your other mons, such as Tyrantrum and Hoopayu and Blacephalon and Staraptor and Megalopony, to help lower that speed gap problem.
That's true. There are some other teams that, since there's more common sticky web users, it sort of becomes a null point, but against those other teams that don't have webs, it makes something like Tyrantrum a great bring at times, or even like Hoopayu that's not Joy Scarfed, which I'm excited to use.
Run that Trick Room set.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Blow everything back with Specs
Not
Corpus.
much else takes advantage. Hmm, potentially. I don't think I want to talk too much about Gorbis because its move pool is small enough so that
Everyone knows what it does.
yeah, it's draining kits. Did you know that?
Yeah. Basically, shell smashes everything. Is what it does.
Yeah, it's sort of a discount Manaphy in terms of move pool. But if I were to like fake things out with Klefki or status things, then Gorbis could potentially sweep or Tantrum under webs. That is sort of the plan. I don't have any
Choice band head smash under webs destroys everything.
Power. That's power.
Also like your fast momentum with Staraptor and Megalopony, I guess, with Baton Pass if you wanted.
That, see, the issue with that, it has a great enough move pool that I wouldn't consider Baton Pass as like a top 4 move. Like in for not really 4-slot move syndrome, but it's okay as
Agility, Baton Pass, and Tyrantrum destroy everything.
That's not allowed, is it?
You're allowed to pass speed just by itself, if I remember correctly, unless we banned that.
I
just remember banning speed with something else, as long as it's just.
Okay. I remember that too. That's why, frankly, I'm fine with Gorbis as it is. Just denting things. I don't have any dedicated walls. Feeling like that's already going to set me back in prep because it's just going to be Blastoise Klefki sort of sponging hits, even though they don't exactly pivot out. So,
okie dokie. Moving on to my number 7. Your 4 is Slimy.
All right. You want me to go
I'll
first?
go first.
Cool.
Looking back at it, probably should have had him lower, but basically he has all these hazards, but his only basically hazard removal is that Togekiss running defog. So if he tries to stack hazards, he'll have to get rid of them himself. Also, he does have that Volcarona, which has that quad weakness to rocks. And his only hazard removal is that Togekiss, which is also weak to rocks. Which is really a problem.
Bit of a problem, but I would think that it just means that he's pressured to bring Togekiss more often, not that it is solely a defogger because it's better as it's a good cleric as well, but
I do like his Z-Mons, though, in
well,
Greninja. Milking,
they
nah. Probably should have had Kofag in Greninja.
oh that would have left him with some points, so I imagine you just wanted to keep it even. I am ambivalent about his Z users.
I guess.
Uh, he has some good momentum. Not that he has a lot. It's just Zorora is
Fast, really fast. Greninja's really fast.
mm-hmm. So while I value slow pivots, they are very threatening. Else wise, his bonds are sort of frail. A little.
Kind of has a speed gap near the bottom after like 80, 80 to 55.
I would say that's not too much of an issue.
Not really.
The more important gaps are between like 80 and 110.
Yeah.
Not too many people had those, in my opinion. I think that's it.
You gonna say anything about his team? Any more?
No, as I said before, or as I typed before, I don't have too many comments right now, especially because I can get the I can get impressions on how good some Pokemon are on how the coaches play, which I guess isn't really the point of post draft if it's just about draft.
It's
But
just about draft. If it's on battle potential, Matt would have been way higher for me.
I suppose I sort of flubbed my rankings in that regard then. So sorry, Matt. I would put you or 3 or 4, I suppose, and everyone else just shifts up one.
Yeah.
I his walls are a little passive, slimy, but his offensive threats are some of them are frail, but
Moving
still very.
on to your number 6.
Yep.
And my number 2, Liam. Liam has an amazing team. It basically blows back a lot of things. Lando T, Megazard X, especially with the wall of Melodic to back them up. It's going to be hard breaking down his team, especially with Florges keeping everything healthy with Wish. He also has webs, which help Lando T and Megazard X quite well.
I think his team would be a lot worse without them, though that's not an uncommon opinion. But there's a little bit of a gap, I guess, between. What am I thinking of?
It doesn't have anything really fast. That's one critique I have. Except, wait,
Oh no,
what's Sneasel's speed?
Sneasel. Sneasel's 115.
Oh, is it? I thought it was slower, like 110.
No, that. Well, I guess Superior would be the 113. That would be.
Oh, I guess that's true. Just looking at this team, it doesn't look that fast.
I mean, below base 100 is speed tiers are pretty consistent. Florges, I think, is great. His cores in general are very synergistic to me. And how many hazards does he have? He has
Rampardos, Bronzong, Galvantula, and Lando T.
Alright, so he has 3 hazards.
His hazard removal is the Florges and Lando T and Superior.
And Superior. So it's not like any of them are typical defoggers. If I had to pick one, I guess Florges, based on its bulk, would be the best defogger. So it puts pressure on him to sort of take away from its move pool. That's why I put him low, because with all the rest of his hazards, a spinner would have been great.
He could always trade away that Dragalge for
That's
something.
true.
Don't really need double
I
dragon.
do think. I think grounded poison types are good though. Toxic spikes are an issue. Timmy, that's. I can see him keeping Dragalge, but I don't know what else besides maybe Bronzong you could drop for a spinner, because there's some good tier 4 ones. I like his users. Okay. I'm more so curious about Ramparts. I don't have an opinion on it, because on the off chance that he gets it, like he brings it to a game and it works, I would just assume that
you don't want to eat your hat, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I just because in comparison to his other mons, Rampardos doesn't seem like it would have a place, because Zard looks like a widely better breaker / sweeper, and like Lucario does better setup. So
could work with his trick room with that Bronzong.
It could. And Dragalge would be the other instance in which I'd see that working as well. So
either the Dragalge or the Rampardos can go and pick up a spinner for one of them.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking he should do.
And that could work out, but I don't have anything else to say on Liam.
Moving on to my number 5, your number 2, we have JS. You can go first.
Okay. I think if he was building around Mew, which, most teams that start with a Mew tend to just be about making it as versatile as possible, I think he was pretty successful. With Gliscor now being able to run defog time, and Rotom Heat and Mega Blastoise, and Silvally being the hazard removers, and Hitmontop. I'm forgetting that he has a lot of removal, which suits him and makes Mew better. Like it becomes all about Mew essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the criticisms I would have is that besides Weavile and maybe Durant and Mew, he's not very threatening offensively.
He doesn't have a dragon except for that Silvally.
Yeah, Silvally would be the stand-in, but
That's why I have him lower, because no dragon.
Really? Okay.
Also, going off of what you said, his offensive presence isn't that threatening, but his defense is really hard to break through.
It is very hard to break through.
We're still allowing Munium Z, right?
Yes, we didn't have a ruling on it, so I think Mew and Miss Magius are both great Z users, also.
Probably one of the best Z move pairs in this division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I can't think of any other.
Yeah, I think he has the best Z pairing.
Mine's just.
Everyone has one great one and then one Meh. Zmon.
Gliscor has some potential. Like, some of his monsters suffer from Formon syndrome. No, I meant to say Formove syndrome.
Formon syndrome. He's gonna play with only 4 months now.
And he's still gonna win. That's so great about this team. Yep, that's all I have to say. I'm done talking. Anything else to say?
I think he has a good chance of finding the right moment to take someone out, especially with Spore coming off of Amoonguss, and set up potential from like a good chunk of his mods.
Most of his offensive mods have set up. If I'm looking at it,
Yep.
Gliscor has potential too. Like, I think Gliscor is actually more versatile than most people give it credit for.
Give it Sword Stance. Blow things back with her.
Sword double dance. Yeah, hold on.
Holding on to my pants.
Do you not have a belt?
No. You said hold on. I was making a joke.
Alright, well, I guess there's nothing else. If there's nothing else to hold on to, I don't have anything else.
Hold on to your chairs, seats.
Hold on to your microphone, lads.
Anything else?
I guess I don't, because there's not really. There's a little gap between Miss Maggie, not Miss Mackius, Durant's 109, and then he has 125. So I guess that would cause for some creeping, but else is relatively balanced.
I don't really think speed at like above 110, if there's that big of a gap, really matters on a team. But that's just me and my playstyle and my experience. Moving on to our ranked threes in Vancouver Melodics TB.
Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. His Fairy Steel Dragon Core is nice and bulky. He is lacking hazards, with Donphan only being his only hazard setter. But also problems with Linoon and Swallow, both fast, offensive, hard-hitting normal types in certain situations. Problems with that, but hazard removal in Donphan and Rotom Wash is good for him, even though he's not really hazard weak. Only thing weak to rocks is Pyroar and Swallow.
I'd say his normal types are all fairly different. So there's actually no weaknesses that really stack in his team. Besides a little bit of ice. For
Donphan.
But it's patched by Rotom.
Steel.
Rotom. That's true. It takes most attacks better than Rotom Wash. I think. Well, they pair really great. Man, and he doesn't have any like passive mons. I'd say.
No passive mons. Except maybe Sylveon sometimes, depending on the set.
Yeah, like a cleric set.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if there are significant speed gaps. He has good setup potential among Pokemon, or offensive Pokemon, sorry. There are even things like Sylveon and Muk.
TB speed.
There's
not really. 125 to 110 isn't all that bad.
Yeah, it's the same deal with JS, I suppose. And I'm trying to remember.
100 to 86, I guess. From Linen to Rotom Wash.
That's not too bad at all.
Not really.
No, I like his momentum Bringers a lot, I think, with including Baton Pass, that he can set up momentum to be in his favor pretty easily.
I want to see what he does with Mega Ampharos.
Me too. It's generally considered to be a favorite low tier Mega, but I guess it just has really common weaknesses. It's not.
And it has somewhat of a shallow move pool, especially since it has a high special attack, but its best drag it doesn't get Draco, so.
That is also a fault, but it runs a pretty good Cotton Guard set.
Nice
in my opinion.
bulky.
There's some defensive setup he could instate as well with Sylveon, Muck, which is great. Like, some of his mons are just immediately threatening. But he can, I guess, like, there's enough versatility for it to work out for him. That's all I have to say, because I feel like I'm about to talk myself into a circle.
Talking in a circle is always the best way to go. At least it's not a square.
You are absolutely right. You want to move on
now? Just so you know, we basically discussed everything since our tier 2s and 1s were lower on each other's list. So we basically covered every team.
That was a lot faster than I was expecting.
I know. I was banking on you having more to say like you usually do and just sitting around adding notes here and there.
No, I was really just debating, talking about how it worked with their teams, because I have an idea about like 6 of these people and how they play. But I'm just starting to get into the rhythm of school, so I was not really in it, and I apologize. I guess it's like I really had one sentence for each person.
That's better than me. I wrote notes down, but not really organized them.
Okay. You want to sign off?
Sure. That is all we have tonight for WCBL Indigo Power Rankings. Catch you next time with Week 1. Bye-bye!
Good night!
I love you, New York!